Welcome back to another episode of the Gifted Performance Podcast. If you haven't already, make sure to like the video and subscribe for future content. For more information about our one-on-one coaching and other training or nutrition options, visit giftedperformance.com. Our newest feature, the Gifted Express, offers premium programming for bodybuilders, powerlifters, Olympic weightlifters, and lifestyle clients for only $30 a month. Enjoy the video, we'll see you on the next one, and as always, stay gifted. Welcome back. Episode 2 of Season 2 of the GPP, Gifted Performance Podcast, giving you knowledge, practical takeaways to improve your own general physical preparedness. We swapped out Jay because fuck that guy, number one. And we
swapped him out because he's busy.
That's part of it, but we also wanted to bring in, and you're gonna see it right underneath this tag if you're watching on YouTube. If you're on Spotify, it's still a mystery. We brought back one of our personal favorites on the pod, Mr. Goob. He swapped out Amish Lord for the Shitfluencer Slayer. He's been on a crusade lately, and he recently hit me up and said, "Yo, let's talk about the crusade." And I said I would love to. John, how are things outside of recording Instagram Reels and being monetized there? What is your life? How has your life been outside of those things?
Phenomenal. Just got back from Atlantic City celebrating one of my good friend's 32nd birthdays. My woman hasn't left me yet. My dogs are still kicking. So, actually every birthday of everything I care about this week happened. My dogs, both of them, my best friend. And that's about it. Is that me? That's me.
That's you.
Too many good things going on in your life right now.
Honestly, way too many. It's time for a really bad thing to happen. That's really not.
Let's not say that.
Dom's very superstitious about that stuff. I text Dom sometimes, and I feel like I'm dying of cancer today, and Dom's like, "Whoa, man, don't say that."
I'm sorry for giving a fuck.
Yeah, Dom, you new around here? We wish the worst upon each other. It's kind of our thing.
Yeah, that's not me.
Is anybody else getting some feedback right now?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Is it better now? I think that was my laptop.
Yeah. Is your laptop overheating?
Going.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
Totally about to get cooked. Can you hear it now still?
A little bit. It's not that bad.
Let me move this guy all the way over here and we'll see what happens. How about now?
If you got any headphones, throw those in too.
I don't own headphones, bro. I'm not a headphone connoisseur.
You don't listen to music at the gym or anything?
No. Do you guys want to restart? Because I don't know what the fuck happened there.
Nah, this is what the people came for. This is what they like.
Okay. Well,
they love
this. This is authentic. This is real.
Yeah,
no
the
editing.
real deal.
There ain't no Photoshop
edited,
here.
No production. Bring out the red lines for this podcast. Paul, Dom, anything that you want to throw in before we get cooking here? What's up with you guys? Paul,
I lost
your
another
camera
overall
down.
this weekend, and I'm pissed.
You lost another one?
You lost an overall, or your client did? I didn't know you were competing this weekend.
My client lost another overall. It's 2 weeks in a row.
Wow. You ever thought about getting good?
Yeah, I texted Ryan and I said, "Man, am I losing my touch?"
And I said, to win the most, up the dose. You're being too kind to these people. You got to get more aggressive with them. I heard what you were teaching at that seminar, that local seminar you did. I heard what you were teaching there, and you're going against your own word.
Yeah,
you got to pump it in.
I am canceled. Goob met an old client of mine.
I did. The boy with the separated shoulders, Mr. Justin. I said hello. He was in the back seat of my friend's truck while we were driving to Atlantic City, and I interrogated him about you.
With no context.
You were trying to brew a story on me. That's what you were trying to do.
No.
He had the green screen ready.
You have diplomatic immunity. If there's ever a story, I would contact you and let you know to go deal with it on your own. It's true.
That's nice.
That's
real nice.
Somebody that I've done that to is going to be watching this right now and be like, "Yep, that's exactly what he does," because I've done that many times. People tell me shit all the time, and they think telling me shit about my friends is going to make me shit on my friends, and that's just not how it works. I don't care. You can say I'm a sellout, a cop-out, but I get to choose who I do a story on, and if it's my friend, I'm not fucking doing that shit. What the fuck do you mean? I'm just going to blow up my friendship because my friend's a dickhead? No, I'm going to tell him deal with your shit. Take that down, dickhead. God.
So
Anyway.
I'm sure you're not at a shortage of DMs. We need to talk about the conquest here. Going from 2.5K, 2,500 followers to 18.5, 19-ish. I don't want to get it wrong. I don't want to get it wrong and offend you. So let me know what it's at right now at this exact moment.
19.2 right now.
19.2? Okay, 19.2. That's, I mean, growth, gains, stonks, however you want to put it. What has that done to your phone battery?
I'm like, I don't know. I'm always on my phone all day, every day. Like, always just doing shit and answering people and replying to stuff. It's just, not anything more, because it's like I write the video and I drop it. It takes me like maybe 10 minutes to do. I'm real fucking fast with it now. I can do them in like 1 or 2 takes. There was one I did yesterday that had edited a little more, but usually it's like boom, boom, boom. I have 3 pictures. I have 9 in total. I'm going to use the first 3, talk my shit, photo, end it, quick little caption that nobody's going to read. And then people comment. I don't really interact with the comments. And then I just go check my inbox if there's a juicy story. But, I just check the unread messages and see what I got.
It kind of feeds itself at this point, I guess, huh? People just send you shit and they're like, hey, do one on this asshole.
I was working my ass off I started doing these February 21, I think was my first video. And it was like February, that first 2 weeks from February 21st to like March 1st, I was working my ass off because I was finding all these. Like, nobody sent me these shits. It was me finding these assholes and doing the stories and like having to go through the explore page and whatever and click on. There are certain people that just follow fake people, and like I have a couple of accounts that I still go to sometimes when I need something, and I like look through the people they follow and the things they interact with. I'm like, got them. But that was all I was doing for like 2 weeks. But now I don't have to. I haven't actually had to search out a story in forever because I have 175 screenshots in my, I call it the Shitfluencer album, and it's just profiles that need a story. There's like at least 170 of them right now.
Those are all profiles people have sent to you.
Yeah. So if you guys
you've got one of my old clients.
I said, are those the ones you found, or are people sending them to you?
Oh, those are all. I've run all the ones I found. What it is somebody will send them to me and they send me their edit or whatever, and usually they fucked it up in some way or it's like not like super convincing. And then I know what to look for. And then I'll go look through and I'll find like better ones or like put it together. Sometimes though I get a really good photo and I end up using it too. But usually it's like when mirror shots, people send a mirror selfie and it's like warped a little and it's just a shitty mirror. But they are editing in some way. You just can't prove it. Then you got to go find one where they're not in a mirror and do the most. What were you saying, Ryan? I just cut you off so rudely.
Yeah, that was fucked up. And honestly, I don't even want to say it anymore. Now I'm pissed. Shut the whole shit down.
No, I think Ryan deserves
Let's pack it in and go home.
That's all.
No, I
Ryan
think one
does.
of my old clients, Pierce, is hard at work for you now. Heather Pierce Drury. She said she was
she's phenomenal. She's like she showed me
she'll dig deep.
Photoshop thing. Yeah, she showed me how to do the Photoshop warp thing. Like I downloaded Photoshop, installed it, and she ran it through on the phone with me. Like showed me how to do that. Amazing. Anytime I need a morph, I'll send it to her if I'm out, and she'll do it on her laptop real quick. She's fucking awesome. I didn't want to tag her.
I would assume it's
because I was like,
I would assume it's almost kind of like is still labor intensive on your end, kind of like digging through the ones that you think are like valid or like worth making a video about.
At the beginning, yes, but now, like, I promise you, everybody does their shit almost the same way if they're editing, and I can figure it out real quick. For men, there's one thing to look for. Until I found that Arnold Vosloo cocksucker, like, he edits his fucking head. I never knew about that, but now it's just a new thing to look for. Like, usually you're looking at, for men, delts, arms, quads. That's what they pull out. And sometimes they'll pull their waist a little tighter if they're men's physique classic. And then you got women, they're always pulling their waist in and their butt out. And then they're tuning up their face.
Yeah.
Who cares about that? But so you're looking on women like the inside of their arm to see if they've stretched it out, and you're looking like at the background near their ass and their legs and stuff. So it's like a small part of every photo that you look at. If you scroll down the thing, you're just looking for easy things. Like if there's a photo next to a railing or a photo next to a brick wall, like you can do a profile in 5 minutes, unless they're really, really, really good. Some I save and I'm like, I didn't get them, but I know I will. You know, that type of thing, and just come back to it later.
Building up
I've
the portfolio.
Yeah. The Vosloo guy I came back to 3 or 4 times, to his credit, and I couldn't find anything. But I was like, this looks so weird. And then there's a photo of him in a hot tub or something, and there's a brick wall behind him, and it finally clicked because all the bricks around his head are like morphed in. I was like, oh. And then I was like, wait a minute. And I just backed out of it, and I went to the next photo, and I looked by his head because I never looked by his head before. And I was like, oh. And I was like, I have something.
So he tries to make himself look bigger by making his head look smaller.
Big
It
brain,
works.
little brain energy, small brain energy.
Yeah.
Yes. And it totally works, honestly. Like he would have got away with it too, if it weren't for that meddling kid. So yeah, totally true.
You know, one that you posted that caught me recently was the girl who, I'm sure she has already sued you and won plenty of money in that lawsuit, was the personal vendetta where she came at you and said, hey, you know, go after my old coach. He's a bad person. You should do blah, blah, blah video on him. Do you see a lot of those? A lot of the personal vendettas from people?
Well, up until I posted that video, yes. After that video, I've gotten exactly 0 personal vendettas in my inbox because they're like, fuck this. That girl dated that guy. She didn't tell me all this information, but like, I'm never going to run a story off of what you tell me. I'm going to go verify it somewhere else. And so he was her boyfriend, and then they separated, and then he recently got together with a different girl, and I think that's the whole story. And she was like, fuck this guy. And so she dated him, and everything was fine, and she didn't have any problem with his coaching. Only when he started dating another girl did it become a problem. So, you know, that's not genuine. So, you know, her profile is full of photoshops. Terrible.
That's just such a shitty area for you to try and dig into of like bad coaching. Like it's really subjective, and it's like, unless you're dealing with something that's really egregious, it's hard for you to kind of like pick through that and be like, oh, look, here's a meal plan that only has this.
I mean, because the question always is sometimes the answer is usually yes when you ask this. Did you win? And they're like, yeah, but it's like, okay, you didn't pay this guy and say, I want to be the healthiest person in 16 weeks. You said, I want a fucking trophy in my hand, I want to win this show. And they won the show, but they were unhappy the way they got there. And that's subjective to me. Like, for me,
Yep.
I coach bodybuilders, sometimes it's extreme, that's just what happens. And I get it all the time. It's usually women, they're DMing me like, this coach is doing this. I'm like, yeah, this is an extreme sport. It's like, if it was like a golf coach and they have you doing 6 hours of cardio a day, I'd be real astonished about that. But it's a bodybuilding coach. You know, so it seems to make sense to me that things are going to be a little extreme. And you can always just say, no, I don't know. You know? Now, if they're thieves or whatever, or that type of thing, or, you know, if they're sending you dick pics or whatever it is like that, like, sure, send them my way. Not the dick pic, but send the information my way.
The dick pics, 100%.
Do not send a dick pic my way. No.
You got any dick pics?
For you, of mine?
No. You got any dick pics from people that are like, hey, you should shout this person out or call this person out? They sent me a picture of their dick. Here's the picture of their dick.
No.
No? Oh, wow.
No.
You don't get dick
That's
pics
good.
just cause?
I don't.
Yeah, you ever get them just maybe...
No, I don't think so.
I've gotten a few dick pics in my life.
How were they?
I guess I just don't put that aura out there, Paul.
Didn't like it.
Stop me
It didn't
when I'm
make
there.
me happy. Huh?
Still? I'm still going?
No, dude.
Man,
You
what
look
kind
at
of
'em very
fucking
long,
picture
dude.
did you
Kind of
get?
a while ago.
God. How tired are you of the people tagging you in their stories? Bring the red lines out. This is Goob approved. Yada fucking yada. Because I'm sick of it on your behalf. Is that like a thing that you accept and you're like, okay, this is fine. It's for engagement. It's driving people to my page. That's cool. That's what I'm going for. Or is it like, hey guys, let's maybe come up with a new joke?
Imagine somebody was tagging you in something that was relevant to a business that you were currently pursuing, and it brought people to look at the shit that you were doing. You wouldn't care what the fuck it was. I don't care what the fuck they're doing. If they're tagging me in it and it's positive and they love it, go nuts. I could care. I love it. I repost all those fuckers. Those girls, they're like, is my butt red line approved? Repost! I don't care. Absolutely it is. Unless it's not, in which case you're getting a video. But yeah, I don't give a fuck. It's funny. It makes me laugh every single time. Every single time. I did get one that was really weird, though, and I didn't repost it. It was just very, very strange. It was like this girl, and she was like in her bathtub. It was just very, very odd. Very odd.
That is odd.
Yeah, the red lines were used to bleep out things. I was like, this isn't going on my wall at all. Sorry.
I didn't write this down, but
What a
has
whore.
Dumbbells and Donuts said anything to you recently? Have you had any conversation with her in the last few months?
So Dumbbells and Donuts is a fun situation. Way back when I lost my account in September last year, like the first account, I remember she was posting all day about how happy she was. It was a good day. Her bully lost his account, blah, 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 blah. And I remember thinking, you motherfucker, I'm going to build this shit back way bigger than it ever was and use it for you every single week. And I mean, it's not even like I'm looking for stuff to go troll her with. Like, people just send me her shit all the time. And so I've had a weekly post on Dumbbells. It's actually, I say Donuts and Dumbbells all the time, but I recently learned it's Donuts, Dumbbells, and then Donuts, not Donuts and then Dumbbells.
So you work out first, then you eat donuts.
Yeah, the dumbbells are more important. That's prio
The
one.
Dumbbells are the more
donut.
important. But she threatened to sue me once, like way back before I lost my account. And then I lost my account, and I think she thought, okay. And then I rose from the ashes like a phoenix, and now I just shit on her once a week, basically.
So, I gotta send you something that I saw at the mall yesterday. You're the first person I thought of too. I was walking with my wife, and I was like, Goob would have something to say about that. I'm gonna send it to you now.
Yeah, unless it gets me canceled, I don't know.
It might.
But yeah, she only threatened to sue me once, and then I was like, I would love if you would do this with me, Alyssa. And then she just ignored it and I never got served, so I don't know. And then I just continued to do videos on her until she, I guess, serves me. I mean, nothing I'm saying is a lie. It's not like I'm harassing her. I'm not contacting her. I'm just doing a video on something she posts.
One day you guys are going to be friends. It's going to be a beautiful story.
Wouldn't that be something?
That would be amazing, wouldn't it? She would probably
Goob
cry.
finally realized
still
this.
hope in so much of the world, dude.
He realizes he was doing bad, and he reaches out to make amends.
I'm too nice to her, honestly. Way too nice to her. Like, my videos don't go as hard as they could. Like, I know so much more. So much more. Horrible things. She's a thief, man. She's just a thief. That's all she is. That's all she is.
Is she still charging $350 a month for coaching?
But, well, now on her website it says between $200 and $400.
Oh.
So
what do you think the $200 package is?
I think you only get the donut subscription, and then if you want to you gotta amp up to that 400. You just get the donut half. So,
what's the I'm sure you're keeping tabs on it. You're a man of much bookkeeping. What's the I'm gonna sue you tab at right now? How many total pending lawsuits are we looking at?
Honestly, so many people have said it, and they never actually.
No one will actually do it.
Oh, you mean like how many people have? I'm trying to silence my notifications on my thing because Kuza keeps texting me right now.
I sent you the thing.
I know. I'm gonna quit messages so that it goes away. All right. How many people?
Dom, I sent you something good too.
Let me think. Sonny Andrews, Arnold Vosloo. Who else have I done a video on? Yurishin never responded.
Dumbbells and donuts.
Donuts and dumbbells. Dumbbells and donuts. See, I'm in my mind. It's honestly
now you're confusing me.
Mean? Like, when you threaten somebody with a lawsuit, I feel like you must think way too highly of how important you are and how much people are going to give a shit.
Well, you have to think about it like this. If I'm going to sue you, I'm not going to tell you that I'm going to sue you.
No, you just get a letter in the mail.
Yeah, you're just going to get sued. Anybody who's ever, if you've actually really been sued before, if you've pursued a lawsuit against somebody, you didn't use it as a stick. You just wanted to sue them because you knew you had a case. It's not like Donuts and Dumbbells has a fucking... Why do I keep saying... It doesn't matter. Donuts and Dumbbells has an attorney on retainer that's just waiting to defend her prestigious name. She'd have to go and shell out $2,000 for a retainer for some guy to sit in a room with her, and she's like... And then he posted the placings online and pointed out that I never put in... If my people are last... What is she going to do? And the attorney's going to be like, all right. We used 6 hours at $200 an hour. So here's $200 back. Get the fuck out of my office.
I mean, I was served a cease and desist before, and they never told me. It just came in the mail.
Yeah, and a cease and desist
That's
is
how
also
it works.
some kind of bullshit. Cease and desist is cease and desist says, hey, we don't want to spend any more money, and we're hoping that you don't want to spend any money. What do you think? And then you have the option of saying yes or no. Cease and desist doesn't go that far. It just says, please stop via legal letterhead. And I haven't got one of those yet.
Yeah.
Sunny Andrew,
It's like a passive aggressive attempt at a conversation. It's like, hey, let's stop.
Well,
I don't want to spend money.
My favorite thing is when they start to talk the legal route. I'm like, oh, well, let me just talk to your attorney. Then I won't talk to you anymore. But they still want to talk to you. They're like, no. I was just threatening. Never mind. I got threatened by the cancer girl's family. They said that they were going to sue me. And I was like, that's...
Tell me more.
So Lydia...
The cancer girl is Lydia. Yeah.
Lydia Mull. She faked having cancer.
Yeah.
And all of her family members were basically like, yeah, no, we don't know anything about this. Very odd, we thought too. And then there was one family member that was not listed as a family member on her family tree anywhere that I didn't contact directly, that contacted me, right? So like I had background checked these people. I find a list of all of her brothers and her sisters and her mothers and cousins and everybody, and I have it. And I go to Facebook and I find all these people. And this girl that contacted me was nowhere to be found in that family tree. But she said she was Lydia's sister. And she gets in my inbox and she's like, I've been to all of her appointments with her. I affirm that all of this happened. But like, I'm not believing it because I don't know who the fuck this girl is. She's not related to her. And she said...
Lydia? Is that you, Lydia, under a fake name?
Potentially. But she threatened to sue me. She was like, I'm going to sue you for lying. And I was like, I literally replied, I was like, that would be awesome because like in discovery... I would get what I want. Like, I'd get my proof. Either she's lying or I was like, where's your attorney? Let's go ahead and facilitate this. What can I do to make this go faster? Can I help you with a retainer? And she did not want to pursue that conversation. She's, like, shifted to something else. And I drug her back to it. I was like, no, let's talk about the lawyers. Let's talk about the lawyers. And then she absolutely disappeared and never replied to me again. So, yeah, I got a big update on the Lydia situation, actually.
Yeah, he does. It was good.
Huge update. I was contacted by 2 detectives and the head of the sheriff's department for the town that she lives in, the county that she lives in. And they saw my videos, and they knew what the deal was, and they said, hey, we think there's enough here that would constitute fraud. They said they had something else on her, but they wouldn't tell me what. And they wanted a little more information from me to, kind of juke and jive with it. So she may get steel bracelets at some point in the near future. Amazing.
That's crazy, dude.
Man, I think...
How much money did she raise?
You run...
It
was a lot.
Who knows? Honestly, like, really, who knows? There's so many people. Like, I got so many DMs by people that, hey, I sent her $200, not in a fundraiser, but just in a friendly way. I sent her this, I sent her that. And then there's a supplement company that sponsored her. I don't want to mention their name because they want nothing to do with this. And they had a GoFundMe, and they transferred the money directly to her. So all that shit's been sent over their way. But it's in the thousands of dollars, easily. She's been doing this for 4 or 5 years. Psychic.
You think she made like $100,000?
I don't know. They're like kind of dumpster. They're like Walmart people, honestly. So like to them, like $30,000 is like fucking. We don't gotta work. I background checked the husband. He has like no work history. I don't think they ever leave the house. She like conned the laptop out of the supplement company from them so that she could do like online training, which is a big fucking scam. A bunch of her clients contacted me and they were like, I fired her because of that.
Why'd you sign up with her?
Here's the sad reality. A lot of these girls were girls that either had cancer or were recovering from it or in remission, were going through chemo, and they saw this girl online that was going through chemo, looking phenomenal and staying in shape. And they thought she had the secret sauce. And so they hired her because they thought she had the secret sauce. That's what all of them told me. They're like, I hired her because I saw her doing this. I was inspired.
Man, what a piece of shit.
And so not only is she pretending to have cancer,
this is
but
bad.
she's ripping off other people with cancer. Like, she needs a little bit of time in a cell, hopefully. I found 2 cases, one in Florida, one in Michigan, where people did serious time for pretending to have cancer in fraudulent ways. The one in Florida, it was like a GoFundMe scam, and they got 2 years for ripping people off for the fake cancer thing. The one in Michigan was a little more nuanced. They had pretended to be a doctor in some communications to like prove their illness to their workplace or something, and they basically forged a doctor's note and forged a doctor's name, and they got her for felony forgery. pretty sick.
Yeah.
Pretty fucking sick. So, hopefully, if she gets arrested, I'm gonna be like,
When you
let me be there for the perp walk. I just want to be there. This is my case. Can I put the cuffs on her?
get you like a fucking cape and a crown. It's like the god of shitfluencers. I tell you when you can shitfluence and when you can't, and I have deemed you unworthy.
Terrible. Absolutely terrible.
I think if you ever run your rope to the end for online coaching, I think that you've got a genuine, very successful career in investigative journalism ahead of you. I can tell that like you're very, very passionate about it. I can tell that it like brings you like some deep joy here. So that's a career shift that I think would
it's a sick
would really
pleasure.
suit you well.
It's a sick pleasure. And I mean, like, let's all be real. Like, Instagram bodybuilding is the fakest place in the world. It's honestly like dunking on children. It's like, oh yeah, I crossed him up. Like, he was 4, bro. Like, what do you mean you dunked on him? He's in Pampers. Like, it's just everything there is fake. It's like so. I have endless opportunities to do this, and every time I do one, people are like, wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. Really? Like the head shrinking guy? Come on, bro. Anyway.
So from all the bad, from all the muck that is Instagram bodybuilding, you have done quite a bit of good with this, and that has come in the form of raising money for charity. Do you have kind of like an estimate of what all of this together has done in terms of charity? What charities you've raised money for? Whether you plan on doing more charity events coming out of this? What's the plan there?
So let me think. For February, we were about maybe like 1,200 to St. I always done it to St. Jude. We were like 1,200 to St. Jude, and then March, kind of a split decision. I think it was like $2,200 to St. Jude directly, and then if you guys remember Des B, the March of Dimes scammer, or the GoFundMe girl, she had GoFundMe scammed $6,677 for medical expenses that she hadn't ever incurred, and was like kind of being a shit about it. And I leveraged her to donate that money to March of Dimes. So for March, about $8,000 went to charity, and then so far this month, a couple $100. That Matt Storm guy, we're working on something where he's got to send money to St. Jude for stealing those posters, and that Peyton girl.
The shit is insane to me. Like, you're going to be like the dirtiest, scummy human being for like $6,000 for like a month of like pay at a real job. Like,
yeah. Like that Shannon Lynn fitness girl, like, ran this big scam. Oh, my dog is sick. Blah blah blah. Emergency surgery. Give me money. Like, literally the next day, she's at like a back-to-back concert somewhere that she doesn't live.
Well, this was why we had a big issue when my best friend Clark got diagnosed with cancer, and then he got his lung removed and all that. We had some kickback from people saying like, "Hey, can we send you the money directly? We don't want to send it to GoFundMe. We don't." Like, things like that. Like, people were really hesitant to give money for it because
the platform is ripe for scamming. It's totally ripe for scamming. You know, a lot of people use it.
Like, a lot of older people, like, straight up brought cash to him because they didn't want to give it through GoFundMe. Because I was the one hosting it, so, like, a lot of people who knew him that didn't know me were like, who the fuck is this kid, you know, raising this money for Clark?
Yeah.
But,
because too many people abuse it. It's like, I remember, like, a couple years ago, GoFundMe was a place where it was like, some kid's dad died, and there's like a mom and a kid, and the mom didn't work, and we're trying to like float him until she gets a job, or
I can confirm though he does have one lung.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's a lot of. I saw that GoFundMe. There was a lot of information there, which is usually you're that forthcoming when you're asking for money. You don't block people when they ask you questions about it. You're just happy to prove it because it's your reality. Lydia. God, she was a freak, bro. Like, the way she went up, she's a manipulator. She kept trying to like.
Have you ever watched that show Imposters on Netflix?
No, I haven't.
You should, because it's literally about shitfluencers.
Really?
Wow. And it's all about like a girl who is part of like a huge scheme, and she pretends to be somebody and like just marries men and robs them, and it's really fucking good.
I mean, I think I've done a few stories on girls just like that, honestly. A couple of them. What's funny is I'll do like a little Photoshop video, and then my inbox is just buried with like their morally reprehensible acts. Like one girl was like, some guy's like, yeah, I lent her $1,200 for something. She was supposed to pay me on Friday. Never heard from her again. It's like, wow. I just did a Photoshop edit on her. And she's a fucking thief. Insane. Absolutely insane. One girl was squatting.
The Photoshop is the...
Photoshop.
Go ahead.
One girl, she was squatting at another girl's house and refusing to pay rent. She like moved in, paid like half of the first month, and then switched, like, you know, got mail and stuff, and switched her ID over like super fast. And the girl, it's like month 2, and the girl's like, hey, I need my rent. And she told her like straight up, I'm not going to pay. I have squatters' rights. She used the term squatters' rights.
Yeah.
This girl was a kid.
Really?
This girl was a kid. She was doing her a favor. Like, they met online or something. She's like, yeah, you stay with me a few months till you get on your feet. And her plan all along from day one was just to move in and make this bitch's life hell.
Dude, that is some like murder somebody in your home shit, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I would not be able to hold back. I'd be like, nobody's finding your body, dude. And there's nowhere to run. You're right here, right now, dude. Like,
somebody tried to do that to me when I was in college. There was this kid who, like, I lived in a college thing where it's like 4 bedrooms and they're individual leases, so they like sort of move people in there, and you sometimes don't have a say about it. And they moved this fucking degenerate. We were all like 20, 21. This degenerate, like 28-year-old crackhead dude, like not in school, just a fucking degenerate. And they moved him into the room, and he paid like 1 month of rent and then stopped paying rent. And so they locked his door, and so he like kicked it in and was like, I'm gonna keep living here. And I was like, you're gonna get your ass beat. You need to leave the house like right now.
every day.
And I was like, I'm gonna help you carry all your shit out right now. And he carried all his shit out, and I don't know where he went. I just remember like closing the door, and he was just like out there, like looking like he was waiting for a bus or something, holding his Xbox like this. It was so funny. Little prick. If you're out there, Randy, fuck you. Randy.
Wow.
Fucking loser. Anyway.
So in I don't think that Lydia is going to go this route. I think Lydia's going to die with hers, or she's going to be buried with her secrets. But anyone else that you've come across that has been like, you know what, like the shit you're saying is true. I am a scammer. I am editing my photos. You know, you brought this to my attention, and now I realize why it's wrong, and I'm going to change my behavior. Is that something that you've run across?
Yeah. And it begs the question, are they doing it because they got caught, or have they really seen the light? And the answer is because they got caught, usually.
Yeah, probably.
Now, there's like a couple ways to go about it. Honestly, Shitfluencers, if you're watching this, the only way to win is to not play the game. If I do a story on you, don't interact with me. Don't DM me. Don't block me. Don't delete stuff. It's just how you get... If stuff starts moving around in the profile, I see it because I screenshot the whole thing. And then I just go check. You know, there's 275 posts. Now there's 220. What happened to those 50 posts? That's a story. That's a story right there. If you don't publicly address it, you know. So there's a girl, the one I just did, Peyton Smith. She thought she was gonna. She did everything wrong, honestly. If I had to say, you guys are watching this, I may do a video on you, what to not do. So I do my video, and I didn't care about it, whatever. She's photoshopping her butt. Who cares? It's funny. And she DMs me and goes, I need to get this taken down. This is going to hurt my business. This is going to hurt my credibility. There's some legal threat mixed in there. Her attorney boyfriend follows me or something. He actually never interacted with me. He may have found it funny. I don't know. But he just followed me. I don't know if that was like the stick. He like followed me. I click. He's an attorney. Delete the video. Delete the video. But so she's like, I need to get this taken down. What can I do? And me, being the dick that I am, I say, send me the original reference photos of those posts, like the original photos. And she's like, okay. And she like digs through and sends them, and I just like ignore her thereafter. And then she starts commenting and replying to commenters on my page about how she's not totally fake, but she did edit the photos, but her body is real, just like weird double talk. Then she goes to her stories. Yeah, she goes to her stories and she posts a live photo of something I didn't even say was edited, and she's like, look, it's not edited. And so she earned herself another video, and I had other photos that I used and whatever. And then she makes her own post on her wall, which is honestly the ultimate trap card. So, like, I look at it this way. My people, for this Peyton Smith girl, maybe 5% of her following follows me. At best, 5%. So if she ignores it, she's doing pretty good. 95% of her following will never fucking see this. Probably 100% of her following if she's, like, not, a super popular account. But she thought she would get ahead of the story and make a post showing the unedited photo and the edited photo. And then made a big post about how she's a real person, but she did do an edit and she photoshops her stuff sometimes and blah, 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 blah. But she works really hard and this, that, the other. The result, she hemorrhaged followers. She lost like 400 fucking followers in the time that I looked to now, like maybe, a couple hours since she made the post. She's just hemorrhaging them like crazy. Because 5%, maybe through me, through my story, she posted on her wall, that's 100% of her following has the ability to see it. Oh. Why would you ever do that? Just ignore it. Like, come on.
It's because in their mind, this shit is way too
it's an emotional,
like how important it is and like what the outcome is going to be to them. Like you just fucked up their lives. Like, and they're like, I have to do something about this. You don't. It's not that.
Yeah, they scramble. The smartest people that I've done stories on just ignore it, and that's like the best. Like, don't give me anything. It's horrible for me because I want to entertain it. I want to be entertained. Fucking. I did one on what was his name? The coach in Dallas, Texas. He's a big time coach. He worked with Sadiq.
Cobra guy?
No. He worked with Sadiq.
I
can't remember his name.
Ryan Burton?
Oh,
Cash.
Yeah.
I did a really good one on him, and I was like, he's gonna blow up. Ignored it.
Didn't say a word. Because I checked his profile for like the next couple of days, and I was like, he's gonna say something or do something. Didn't say a word.
Never made a post. Never subtweeted me. No replies. No DMs. No threats.
And you go check his profile now, and it's business as usual.
I mean, dude, it's probably
it's like this. It's like this massive. It's this massive sense of like self-righteousness that you find in the fucking fitness industry of like how dare some person that I've never met say something about me, like even if it's true or not, like I'm gonna make a big old response because all of my followers are waiting by their phone to see what my response is gonna be to John Dorsey. Like, no, the fuck they're not. And if you leave it alone, it goes away in a couple days.
I'm literally just entertaining my people and showing them how to spot it. Like, that's really the point of it. Is
like,
it's not even about fucking Peyton Smith or Cash Goudry or whoever or Sonny Andrews. It's literally saying they're all doing this, and here's a particular case and something I found, and here's how you spot it. It's not even about them. Like they always make it about themselves. Like
I've gotten pretty good at it because of you.
That's what I'm saying. Like, my inbox is now full with people, and they're good. Before they'd be shit, but like now people actually find good shit and they send it to me.
Yeah, mine are the ones I find are pretty good now.
Yeah, somebody photoshopped their check-ins.
There was
with you?
No. Fucking that'd be suicide mission.
I had a guy that would edit.
That's what I would do if I was one of Goob's clients. I would Photoshop my check-ins to him to see if he caught it. That would be how I test you as a coach.
So the win is they say he. I got one over on Goob U. And then the lose would be I catch it and I crawl up their ass for a whole week and run videos on them the entire week.
I had a client one time editing his pictures, and I found out because when I went to save the picture to do like a side by side, the file came up as not like image or whatever. It came up as the app's name and then the number of the photo.
Facetune 47.
It was Facetune. It was Facetune and then the number behind it. And I screenshotted that. I sent it to him. I go, "Did you really just edit your pictures before you sent them to me?"
I've gotten
and you know him too. You know who I'm talking about.
I've gotten some filter changes. I'm just like, hey man, can we not do that?
Yeah, they're like, how do I look conditioning wise, coach? Like, I don't know, bro. Maybe send me the photo without structure at 100. Like, I don't know.
He's a men's physique competitor that wants to do classics. Does that ring a bell? No. Yes, you did a posing thing on him. On the story, really small dude. He's like, I want to do classic, and you literally posted him and said, "Stick to men's physique."
His name's Justin.
Yeah, he was editing his pictures.
Insane.
Same Justin.
Different
I
Justin.
think you guys are just picking on Justin.
We won't disclose last names. He's not worthy of it.
Yeah, well, I wish he had a lot of followers. I could do a video.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, he's like sub 1,000.
I have limits now. It's like they have to have like a.
Yeah, what is the limit?
I mean, okay,
10K is 10K the limit?
But look at it like this.
10K probably. You gotta have
The
swipe up
smallest account that
ability.
I've done so far was the most morally reprehensible story. So there's a sliding scale. Lydia Knoll, faked cancer, only 3,000 followers. Did I back away from it because she was a nobody? No. She scammed a bunch of people. She just didn't have a big account. So she did a big thing with a small account. You know, I found a girl, she's like 42,000 followers, everything's edited, but she gets 3 comments per picture. So that means she has like 2,000 and she bought 38, you know? So it really depends. I look at the engagement. 25 is about like 25 real people. 25,000 real people is like the minimum, I think. But you know, if I find somebody that's like
Everyone who's watching who's at like 21, 22 is like, oh, whew, I can keep doing my bullshit.
Have you ever seen those profiles where like the whole time you followed them, they've been at like 41,000 followers and haven't grown at all?
Yeah, and they post a video and it gets like 119 views.
I never thought about that until my shit's been growing like crazy now, and I'm like, I don't stay the same for like a week. Like in a week, I'll get a couple hundred because I'm like posting the same shit. And I see these accounts, they're posting stuff all the fucking time, and they're like 41,000 straight the whole time.
Yeah, I
like,
feel like if I don't do anything, even my account still gradually grows. You know?
Yeah, unless you're like posting like
Same.
horrible things that nobody wants to see and they're unfollowing you like crazy. Like, but if you don't post anything at all, they're not gonna like go seek you out and be like, Paul, fuck that guy. They're not gonna go and just like search it, go find you, take you off. That's not how it works. Makes no sense. But they don't grow at all because I guess all their followers are some Indian bot somewhere. Amazing.
I do like what you've been doing on your story, where you've been kind of like critiquing people's profiles and telling them like how to fix up some of their content to get more followers and like that. And I think that's part of like a bigger conversation right here in terms of your rise in popularity and engagement and what that's done for your coaching business. So going from roughly 2K to roughly 20 is a 1,000% increase in followers. Do you see that same amount or a similar amount increase in like inquiries or coaching applications?
Yeah, I get
business?
a lot, but it's like a different variety of people, and I have like 2 kinds of people that hire me right now, and it's like really, 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 really good competitors or like super green people, and a lot more women are hiring me too because my account was like 89-11 or like 88-12 men to women percentage split, and now it's like 45-55 men to women. So like I got a huge influx of women on my profile, and as a result, they want me to coach them. It's a lot of lifestyle people though, which I love because they're always like the easiest to get along with, and they don't. You know.
I feel like that makes sense though, the influx in women, because I feel like a lot of women tend to be very hard on themselves, and they see all these people that they want to look like, and they're like, oh, that chick's butt's got to be fake, but they like can't prove it, or whatever. And so I mean, I'm sure they really appreciate what you're doing, or I would have.
When I started doing these, I was just doing them to be a dickhead because I thought it was like entertaining to me, which is usually my metric for doing something. Like if it entertains me, like surely there's somebody else out there like me that's entertained by this. But I got so many like young women DMing me, and the messages are all pretty much the same. And they're like, and I'm like reading this like, really? Like, really? They're like, my self-esteem has never been higher. Like, thank you so much. I followed this bitch forever. Like, they'll send a profile that I did one on, and they're like, I knew she was fake. Like, I'm the same height and weight as this bitch, but I don't look like anything like her, and I couldn't figure it out why. Or I get DMs from a dad DM'd me last night. He says, we have 2 teenage daughters. We showed them all of your videos tonight. He's like, I thank you so much for doing this. They're lost in the Instagram shuffle.
Bro, you're a household hero, man.
I'm a rude person.
I don't know if I would show your videos to my daughter. I don't think I'm sitting down my daughter and saying, all right, you got to listen to Goob.
I would. As a young kid, I'd be like, hey, grow up and be a good person, because if you're a piece of shit, people like this are going to come after you.
Maybe that's why he was showing. He was like, I saw you guys install Facetune on your phone. This is what can happen to you. But, no, I've just had so many. Like, that was a positive thing that I never, like, if you would ask me in a million years, I never thought hundreds of people would message me and be like, hey, like, you really helped me mentally with this because you post this shit and I realize it's fake when I've just felt differently. Because, there's no way to look like that girl because that girl doesn't even look like that girl. She is that girl and she ain't even looking like that girl. And I guess they didn't get that and now they get it. I always thought this shit was fake. I just never, opened my mouth about it or had a platform. So I thought that was really fucking cool. I never thought that would happen. But in terms of business, like, I get hired all the time now for like by people that would never, ever, ever think about hiring me before. It's just like kind of crazy. I have a ton of inquiries all the time. And before, maybe I'd get, one or two in a week on a normal or a pretty good week. 2 people hire you and I keep them for a pretty long time. So like your shit's ebbing and flowing, wherever it is. You lose one every couple of months. You gain maybe 3 a month or whatever it is. And now it's like I've had the last, I think, 4 days, I've had 3 people hire me every day.
It's really cool. I'm sort of like trying to think about why that is, right? Like, obviously you've demonstrated you have a skill and you've been doing this for a while, but like these recent videos, they're just entertainment, right? But, I'm sort of thinking like, well, they also show that you have some sort of like moral and ethical, like, there's something there, right? Whereas, I think, and I don't know what it's like to be like a chick that posts her butt all the time, right? But I've heard that,
Yes, you do.
What's that? I do. Oh,
yes, you
right.
do.
Don't make Ryan say it first.
But,
he said
I've heard that this typically doesn't really translate to more business for them, getting giant followings doing that.
Well, there's a reason. It's and I talked about somebody with this the other day. It's like, who are the people that are following you? If you're putting out Minecraft content and you have 1 million subs, you have 1 million 12-year-olds that don't have bank accounts and they can't buy shit from you. If you're putting out content that is aimed at, women age 18 to 25 that is talking about the body manipulation of the people that they follow and the people that they love, they got some money in their pockets. They're already spending it on beauty products and training and whatever. Now they know about you, and now they're happy to fuck with you because they know you're authentic. And I think that's what it is they're seeing authenticity in me. They're a market that has money and is willing to spend it, and it's something I never tapped before. And
it's crazy because a lot of people sort of think that just getting a big following kind of solves all the problems, right? But it doesn't necessarily.
Yeah, it's like you have to figure out, okay, I have the people looking at me, now what can I do with it? There's some accounts that have 200,000 followers and they're still doing seedy shit to go make their money. It's they're 200,000 people are looking at them and they're not turning any money with even one. You get 2% of that 200,000 to pay you a couple $100 every few months, and you're doing the big 6-figure income. And they're somehow not figuring that out. My profiles have always been like 2,000-3,000 followers, but I'm running between 80 and 100 clients usually on the average at 2,000, 3,000 followers. Like, that's a pretty big return, and it's because the people that fuck with me. They're not just looking at my page every now and again. They're like glued in. I had on my old page, my average like story watch would be between like 2,000 or so, 2,000, 2,100 on a 3,000 person account. That means they're all looking. I mean, now mine's at almost 20,000, and I still get like 4,500, 5,000 story views. So it's not even that much more than before. It's just probably an extra fluff people that don't pay attention to my stories and just watch my wall and that type of thing. But I think it's just loyal followers that actually pay attention to you. And then you got the girl posting her butt that you're talking about. And what is she going to sell the 80% creepy men on her page? What is she going to sell?
OnlyFans, dude.
Go look at that Peyton Smith girl, the one we were just talking about that's hemorrhaging followers like crazy. All of the people that liked the post she made, validating herself, saying, "Oh, here's the original, here's the edited." Go look at that post. All of the likes are from creepers. She has 25,000. Well, she had 25,000 followers. She's down to 24 something now. Like, that's not making you any money. She still trains people in person, and I think that's like where she makes most of her money, out of a gym. So it's like, come on, man. What are you doing? Charging $350 a month, and nobody's buying it. I wonder why. Because you're curating incorrectly. Maybe don't edit your butt. Maybe don't post all the whatevers. Maybe you post more training content. Maybe you post your clients. Like, I don't know. She has a separate page for her client thing. It's like, why would you do that? Why are you separating these things? That's how you could have 2 shitty profiles or 1 good one. Like, I don't understand. People do that shit all the time. Anyway.
I think it's a layer deeper than what you said. It's less when people come to seek you out to hire you, they're hiring you. They're not hiring your Instagram page. They saw you because your Instagram page, but they didn't hire you because of that. They hired you as a personality to coach them. Like, that's a big piece of the coaching relationship. None of these 5-star recruits are going to Alabama because they have an attachment to the University of Alabama. They don't give a fuck about the University of Alabama. They probably fucking hate the people who run the university. They probably fucking hate the president, but they are going there for Nick Saban. That's why they're going there, for the specific coach, for the specific personality. And you're the personality that these people are seeking out. They want to work with you directly. I think a lot of people that seek out the virality of their virality, I don't want that to sound like virility. We're not blowing loads here. People who seek out virality spend so much time developing their page, they forget to develop themselves as a personality, as a person, as a coach. So they get this huge fucking account. They get these influx of people that sign up for them. They sign up for a month, and then they're like, this person sucks. Like, this person's a douchebag. I'm going to go somewhere else. And then they see this big spike, and then everyone finds out that there's actually no substance there. What's driving people to stay with you is that they're getting some substance.
When people hire a coach, there's so many that do the same thing. They're looking for somebody they actually get along with, somebody that they trust, somebody that they aren't afraid to speak to. And those three things. Maybe just the first two more important. And I see a lot of coaching profiles where it's like transformation, transformation, transformation. Or it's knowledge, knowledge, knowledge. Or photo, like memes and shit, like dumb shit. I know this one guy, he's got a ton of followers and he never has any fucking clients, and he just fucking posts memes. It's irritating. And it's like, bro, like this is why it's photos of you and memes, and you're a coach. Just post a hybrid of those things. I criticized somebody the other day. They're like, what's going on with my page? And I was like, because they would cluster stuff. It'd be like all transformations in the month of February, and then in May it'd be like all way too much knowledge stuff. And then in April, it's just videos of them talking for 12 minutes about shit that nobody cares about. It's like, be your personality on a cycle. Like maybe give them a little bit of flavor of you. I don't know, get on your story and say something so that they can see the person that they may be interacting with and coaching with. Some of these people, I know the coach name, but I couldn't tell you what they looked like. I think that's a problem. Maybe it's a problem for me because somebody's going to beat my ass at show. They're like, we all know what he looks like. He ran a story on my girlfriend. I'm going to go get him. I got a call from a boyfriend, actually. Did I tell you guys about this? It was Bojana's boyfriend called me. Chris something. Bojana, one of the head shrinking girl, the original head shrinker. And he calls me. And I do this every single time somebody calls me and I don't want to talk to them. He answers and I say, hey, Chris, I'm recording this phone call, just so you know. And I'm totally not recording the phone call. I don't record phone calls. Why would I record the phone call? And they always get freak out. And he's like, well, I don't want you to record the phone call. And I'm like, all right, well then just hang up. And he goes, well, I want to talk to you. And I was like, well, then you have to be recorded. And he's like, well, no, I don't want you to record. And I was like, you see, we're stuck in a loop here, Chris, and I'm recording this right now. And he's like, all right. And he gets real nice. And he's like, I just want to tell you. And he starts telling me this sob story about Bojana and the Ukraine. Somehow he involves the Ukraine in this, and her mother or her grandmother or something. That's literally what he said.
What's going on?
What he said. And I was literally walking back from the gym, and I was walking by my favorite fruit stand. So I remember, and I was like, dude, doing bad things happening to you does not excuse bad behavior. It's not the end of the world. I just photoshopped. I did a Photoshop video on her. She does shrink her head. She does shrink her waist. And he's going off and off and off about how she's a good person and she doesn't deserve that. And I was like, dude, you can keep talking to me and I'm going to do another video. Or you can just hang up. And he hangs up. And that was that. Just the click.
I'm going to use
Try
that trick.
Bro. People freak
I'm recording
the fuck
this
out.
call.
You don't even have to be recording it. You don't even have to make a beep or anything. Yeah.
I would freak the fuck out. If I called you and you were like, hey, Ryan, I'm recording this call.
Yeah.
Stop.
Well,
why are you doing that? Don't do
what
that.
would you do if somebody was like, no, dude, I get it. It's totally shitty. I'm shitty. I understand. I love what you're doing. Can you just leave me alone? I'm going to keep doing it.
Wait, say that again? Oh, you mean
say it again? Huh?
So you're saying if somebody I did a video on contacted me and said, yeah, I did it,
No, like I get it. They're just like, yeah, it's super shitty, but like I'm just gonna keep doing it.
Okay.
Would you just keep going after them? Like just fucking no?
No. I only go after like it's okay. The video itself is, hey, this is your credibility and it's low. Everybody knows now. I only do another video when they say I'm lying because I don't want my credibility to be challenged. And if they say I'm lying, I'll do a second, I'll do a third, I'll do a fourth. I'll do videos until I run out of fucking photos in your profile and until you submit and say yes. Like that one girl, Peyton. I did one video and she goes, he's a liar. I did another video and then she submitted. She was like, no. Okay, I'll do my own post saying that I'm a liar. You know, she took the story down off of her wall, took the post down saying I was full of shit. All that stuff. Deleted her messages, deleted her comments. It's all I care about. It's like, okay, let me talk my shit. And if you want to lie, you know, because they're already lying. You're lying on your profile. And then if you want to lie and say, I'm full of shit, I'm going to double down and make you look even worse. But if they DM... I had a guy. He was the legs bra guy. The one with the bendy walls. One of the first ones I did. He DMs me. He goes, bro, this shit's hilarious. Here's another photo if you want to do another video. And I was like, this is how it's supposed to go. I don't care. Yeah.
No, it's not fun. I'm not having fun anymore.
Shit's out there. You're not begging me to take it down.
I'd like to think these people are better because of it, man. Like once they finally get away from it, they're just like, people talk shit. Yeah. I guess it really isn't that big of a deal. Like, just, you know?
They really can't be that mad at me, though. Because, like...
Didn't we talk about bullying on the first episode that we had John on? I think we talked about like how effective bullying can be.
Shame is.
I feel like we've really come full circle here.
I mean, I'm just wielding shame, right? I'm just like Photoshopper. I'm not even making anything up. I've not made up a single thing in my videos. Photoshopper. There was one girl though that I did a video on, and I did like 5 photos in the video, and she goes and DMs me. She goes, "You're full of shit. Here's a live photo," and she sends me a live photo of one of the 5 photos that I did. And it looked like, yeah, maybe I made a mistake in that one. And I go, wow, send me the other 4 and I'll take the video down. Ghost. Silence. She never returned. So people, they try that. They try to be like, oh no, you're wrong, take it down. And that's the only reason I ever doubled down on them. But I don't care. If they DM me and say, LOL, it's funny, I'm like, yeah, it is. It's just entertainment. Like,
that's crazy, man. I've never been caught with anything red-handed and just been like I need to defend this. You know what I mean? Like, you just know you're fucked. Like, you get that sinking feeling. You're like, oh, fuck. Like, I've been seen, you know?
Think about how these people are, though. Like, Sunny, she gets caught red fucking handed, and she's going in my inbox threatening to sue me, saying I'm a liar, saying this and that. And she didn't even admit to editing until I did 2 more videos on her. Like, I had to, like, turn the screws on that one for her to even be like, yeah, I did it. You know, it had to be... Those videos were at, like, 70K on TikTok, and she was like, fuck, I gotta say something truthful now. He's just gonna keep doing it. Crazy.
Until she was banished.
She
Banished
unblocked
to
me
the
recently,
Shitfluencer lair.
why. Yeah, maybe she wants to be friendly.
Really?
I would
She's gonna do a video about you.
Because it would, like...
Have you ever seen her in person? I've never seen her in person.
Oh, I saw her at the Arnold. She
I
looked
bet
awesome.
she's scary looking.
You know, she didn't look like her photos, you know, for obvious reasons. But like, you know, she looked really awesome on stage. I thought, you know, I thought she deserved her placing, and she did really fucking well. But definitely edited. She posted stage photos recently because I got unblocked and I could look at it, and she didn't edit them. So, I mean, that's
having an impact.
I do spot checks on these people, and the general consensus is, if I did a video, they haven't edited anything since. They usually lose a couple hundred followers, so they have like a mass exodus, and I think they're like, fuck, I gotta do something right. And then they just post better stuff, you know, good real content, that type of stuff.
It might be a good idea for you to, like, before you put a video out about someone, to just message them and say, hey, listen, my next video is going to be about you. You can use this DM as confession. Do you have any sins that you would like to confess about things that you've put in your profile? If so, just let your sins out,
Ryan,
and you can be forgiven.
So right now, my name is a weapon. And if I DM'd that, I got a guy to refund money that he stole from a girl in 6 minutes. She'd been chasing him for months because I sent him a screenshot of him saying, telling her to go fuck herself. And I said, can you make this right? Because my name is a weapon. Now, if I did this in January when I didn't do any of these videos and I DM'd that guy and I said, hey, make this right, I'd have been left unread. I'd have been left in the inbox. So I don't want to DM these people now that there's some teeth behind it and use it to do that. I want to expose them and then let them either sort it out on their own.
You know what I saw in your comments once? And I was wondering if you get this a bunch. There was like a guy who was like, basically thought it was kind of bullshit that you were going after this, but not talking about like steroid use at all, and like going after those people.
You mean like the natty or nots?
I think so. I don't know what his whole thing was. I think I don't know.
He wanted me to expose, I remember the comment, he wanted me to expose people for lying and saying they're natural when they're obviously not.
Oh, I thought it was just people that use drugs in general. I didn't realize it was a natty or not.
Yeah, I'd be like, bro, that's all my friends. What do you mean? Can't do that. No, the natty or not is, because it's like, wow, using that stuff is illegal in most states. And Photoshop is not illegal anywhere, as far as I know. And that's really my whole argument why I don't. And I don't even care. I don't care if you're lying, saying you're natural. Maybe your job doesn't let you do it, or maybe your wife doesn't know. Like, what? Who cares? You should assume they're all on.
We had Shane Hunt, who's like a really, really successful powerlifter on the podcast, and one of the top comments, because we asked Shane like what was at the root of his like recent massive upswing in strength, and one of the comments that we got was like, wow, I'm surprised like Shane didn't mention drugs as one of the reasons why he got so strong. And Shane was in the comments and said, so your argument is that I didn't publicly admit to using federally illegal drugs in a forum where anyone can see it or hear about it? Like, top tier comment, dude. And I was like, that is how you handle that situation.
It's like, wow, you want me to out people and maybe lose their freedom for them for using something all of
you did it to cancer, girl.
Yeah, but
I'm just fucking with you. You don't have to explain to me. You don't have to explain that one to me.
So we've got a Lydia update coming for sure. Do we have any other updates or big ones that you want to give people a preview of? Some names that people might be familiar with?
See if there's anything I can do.
We already got Des B. My fiance is suggesting you revisit Des B and wants you to know that Des B has a private Instagram account. What's it called? Sunscreen and Sarcasm, where she publicly shit talks her husband and talks about how bad it is having children and just basically complains about that stuff.
Because she was so reactionary.
I'm surprised no one has brought that to you.
When I was doing her, she would like respond right away. It was like the end of the world for her, for my little account. She had like 400,000 followers and I had like 10 or like 9 at the time, and I'm running these videos and she's like, gotta reply right away, gotta curate a response. I'm like, girl, if you would have just left this alone, you would have never had to give $7,000 to March of Dimes. Jesus Christ. You could have spent it on more lip fillers or something. All right, we got a girl named Tanith Fit, who's like a big influencer. That's
Tanith?
Tanith Fit. Let me make sure that's spelled correctly. I just write them down.
Trying to find this person.
2.7 million, Tanith Fit. Oh yeah, she always photoshops photos where she's like hanging out with her like 2 children, and I just think like that's super weird. Like she's like photoshopping her body in pictures with her children.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's like a big time shitfluencer. She's also a Bang Energy athlete, and I love to troll Bang Energy all the time.
Oh, I thought you actually liked it.
No, they never paid me anything. I just I did that so that other companies would pay me, because they'd be like, oh, I mean, literally, you guys all here recognize Bang from my videos, and other companies saw that, and they were like, how do we get into that action? And they paid me to start promoting their products in their videos. Bang fucking sucks. I hate Bang Energy. It's a fucking garbage company. And the CEO of it is super goofy. Guy gives me the creeps.
He's a weird.
I like
he's a
his
weird
taste
guy.
in jewelry.
He's a
My
very
man's wearing
weird
22
guy.
karat. It looks like 24 karat maybe. That's a flex. That is a flex. I mean, he didn't do it on the cheap, but It seems like they only sponsor like very, very, very heavily edited people, and it's like only booty models. They don't have any normal models. Like no athletes. They don't sponsor bodybuilders anymore. It's just like tennis
But
yeah, booty models with millions of followers and no engagement. Oh my god! Somebody was telling me the other day they had a brand deal with Eurishna. They're like a clothing company, and they had a brand deal with Eurishna. 2.7 million followers, Eurishna, right? To promo their products or something. They paid her all this money. Guess how many sales she got?
I'm gonna say sub 50.
Ryan? Polly?
10, a dozen. We'll give her a dozen.
Wow.
0?
0, baby.
I was the
You
closest.
sell shit.
This is goose egg.
This isn't the Price is Right, Paul. You were also
Fucking
fucking
egg.
No, dude. There's no reason to be that aggressive. How much does she get paid?
I don't know. I didn't ask them.
Closest
But they were
without going over.
Because they were like, yeah, you did a video on
You know what's
Fuck.
interesting is she hides her likes with 2.4 million followers.
I wonder why.
Because it's probably like
Even like
900.
okay, yeah, she gets a lot of views on videos, but it's still not to the scale you would think for 2.4 million followers.
She's fucking repping.
I feel like whenever you post a
I don't
video,
trust anything.
Me.
I don't trust
all
any
the
of those
video
metrics.
views. They always make me feel like a lot of people are watching because it's like 25 times what you'd get likewise.
This is all you trust, boys. This is all you trust. You go to those insights, and you look at it, and you just see what do you got going on there. But you can't see people's insights. You can only see their. There's a couple websites you can actually go to that'll put out like engagement total. Yeah,
Gun Show uses those.
there's
yeah, Gun
like I
Show
ran
is
somebody's
the
profile
master
the
of
other day,
those.
and his engagement was like 0.025%.
Yeah.
That seems
I don't
bad.
have any frame
It's
of
like-
reference.
That seems bad.
Like my profile has like people commenting and talking all the time, and it's like probably like 6 or 7%. So like if there's 20,000 people, like 6% of 20,000 is like a lot. You know. And his was
Are
like
engaging with your stuff,
way
yeah.
more than that, and had like a fraction of a percentage,
Yeah.
like a fraction. It's just really fucked up.
All right, folks. I got some stuff that I want to say to Goob off air, so I'm going to call this thing a day right here. I got some people to bring to his attention that we cannot get on the actual recording. You might see him featured on his page here pretty soon, though, because I got some
Wait,
pretty
is this
some
personal
good
beef?
deets coming his way. We will see you on that next video. Maybe we'll even bring John back and we'll talk about some of those people when they've been brought to light, when they have atoned for their sins. John, leave the people
Guys,
with a goodbye. What do you want to tell them?
Appreciate. This has been a fun month for me. If you've watched my bullshit or shared it or whatever, commented, even if you talk shit, I thank you heavily for that. Send me your shitfluencers. Send me your unwashed masses, and I will do my best. Appreciate it.
Signing off. Remember, guys, we still have our Find Dom's Secret World of Warcraft and Car Instagram account giveaway going on. If you find Dom's secret Instagram account, please DM me the profile, and we will send you your prize
Buy the
pack.
Enhancing Responsibly course,
Paul?
please. Bye.